Yo, I'm appealing to my people today. I need y'all. Come on in here. Come on in here. I need some therapy. I'm sitting in the parking lot of a mall. Just got finished doing some Valentine's Day shopping for the wife and my daughter. And I was just thinking, of how men and women are engaging one another over the weekend. But Valentine's Day, it's the lovers' weekend, right? All of that. And as I was buying gifts for my wife and daughter, because I buy gifts for my daughter to let her know that her daddy affirms her too, and that daddy, appreciates her as a young woman too. And so I buy her gifts too, because I want her to know that if a man says he loves you, that there are multi ways that a man shows his love, and one of the ways is, gifts. That's one of my love languages, giving gifts. But back to the main crust of what I need your help with. I was like I'm tripping, I think. I think I'm really tripping. But I'm thinking of years down the road when my daughter gets married, what kind of guys she's going to hook up with. Because my daughter's like a real fun, outgoing type of young lady. She's only in the 11th grade. And I know some of y'all already saying Mike's tripping because she all young, and why is he thinking, marriage for her already? Well, like I said, I need y'all help. Come on in. And so I'm thinking of the guy that she'll marry, and I just want him to be good. And I actually pray right now. There are times where I've pulled my daughter aside and I said, come on, let's pray for your husband. And she'll laugh and chuckle. She's like, Dad, I'm only in 11th grade. But I'm letting her know that it's important to pray now, because I don't know what he might be going through. He might be going through some serious stuff. And so I'm praying for him. I want God to equip this young man, whoever he may be, to be a good man for my daughter, a great man for my daughter. So I'm praying for him now. But here's where, I'm tripping a little bit, right? And I need y'all help. Like, as a pastor, I'm privileged to, observe relationships up close of other people. Young couples, older couples. I get to observe dating couples, married couples, and how they're engaging one another, right? I have that privileged position sometimes to be up close and observe folks like that. And I've come to this conclusion that there are so many women today that are in relationships with guys that are like ultra hard and ultra tough and ultra, masculine, where, for them, compassion or love or tenderness is being a punk. And I'm like, is this what the women are exposed to today? Is this the imprint of masculinity that our women have in their emotional context of what a man is? Is this the format of man that we have defined for our women, that you gotta be thugged out 24/7, 365? Because in my opinion, I don't think that's, showing the full facet of who you are as a man. That's just one dimension of who we are, our toughness and our hardness and our, thug side. That's just one dimension. Because God made us multi-dimensional. He made us emotional. He made us caring. He made us compassionate. He made us loving. He made us patient. He made us kind. He made us social. He made us to be vulnerable. Heck, Christ was vulnerable. Talk about vulnerability, dying for all of mankind's sin, past, present, and future on Calvary's cross. That's as vulnerable as you get. That's love. Now that's love. One that would sacrifice his life for a friend. That's some love. And that's vulnerability. And men today are so hard in relationships, from my observation, that they don't want to show no vulnerability, which means that they don't trust the woman they're with enough to show her that vulnerability. I don't see men being, compassionate. And if they are, so be it. But from my observations of many different relationships that I've seen over the years, I've come to the conclusion that women are just, routinely exposed to this false narrative of this over masculine male persona that many of us guys are portraying. And in some cases, it's truly a mask. I mean, we wearing these, COVID-19 masks for protections. Some of us been wearing an emotional mask for the majority of our life to protect our emotions from being vulnerable. And fellas, it's okay to be kind. It's okay to be tender. It's okay to be vulnerable. Be all of those things and still be strong and still be masculine and tough. But be those other things too, man. Because that's what we need as humans. Women need tenderness. Men need tenderness. Women need strength. They need to see that demonstrated. We need to be strong as men. I get it. But when you're just a one-trick pony where you're thugged out 24/7, 365 in your intimate relationships with women, something's wrong with that. Because they're not seeing the multi-layers of who you are. And you're not demonstrating the multi-layers of who you are because you're only embracing that hard, tough, masculine side of you. And there's nothing wrong with embracing that. But there is something wrong when you suppress being patient, when you suppress being kind, when you suppress being tender, when you suppress being gentle. That's what being a gentleman is all about. And that's not being a punk. And that's not being weak. That's showing your full dimension. And maybe I'm tripping, but I want a good man for my daughter. I want a young man who's going to be focused on God, a man who's going to be loving towards my daughter, patient with my daughter, tender with my daughter, jovial and upbeat with my daughter, kind, patient, right? I want all that in the guy that's going to marry one day my daughter. And so I pray for him now, and I pray that God is equipping him and building him up. And I pray right now for the women and men that are in relationships. It's not easy being in relationship. Relationship takes work. And I'm just, protective of my daughter's heart. And I want the guy who's going to love her with all facets of his life. The tender side, a hard side, a loving side, a compassionate side, a fun side, an intellectual side. So that's it. I just want someone who's eventually going to marry my daughter. I want that man to be a full man, a man who's operating from fullness and not just one dimension. Because my daughter's my world to me. And I think about her happiness. And I know she laughs it off, and she thinks daddy's crazy for praying for her husband this early in her life. And I know she, trips on that kind of stuff when I do it. But I love my daughter. And I want the men out here to know that it's okay to be a full man and not just a one-trick pony.